Yo, welcome back to VLR with Justin Newlam. You may recall last episode we had to cut the episode in half because I ended up recording one that was too long, so we're going to be picking up where we left off right now. The luminol is on this floor, so we're not going too far away.
This is the rec room. Dio and I came here earlier when we were looking for Quark.
Yep, and this
So why
was
are we
where
here?
Kay and I
Was
were
there
here
something here
initially.
you needed to see?
I said nothing and instead made my way over toward the cabinet. Inside was the luminol. I reached in and pulled it out, then headed to the light switch and flipped it. That's the wrong order of events, my dude. First thing is to spray your own as a show of good faith. And then if it turned out it was right, you'd really be in some trouble. Or whatever color it'll glow in the dark. The room went dark and I headed back to where the others were still standing.
Whoa, what is this? You gonna start telling ghost stories or something?
Say sure. Why, you scared of ghosts?
You're kidding me, right?
Then show me how brave you are. Stick out your bracelet. You too, Fi.
Our
please.
bracelets?
Yeah, I want to see the
What do you
underside.
mean by
of it.
that?
I mean the side on the bottom. The side that doesn't have the display on it. Come on, you really gonna make me
I
explain
know
this?
what you mean. What I'm asking is what the hell you think you're...
Just do it. It's not hard.
Should I also participate?
No, you're fine, Kay. Your bracelet is a little different from ours. But I'll join in just to make it fair. Again, you shouldn't join. You should have done it first as a show of, hey, see? And then move. There was a brief moment of hesitation, obviously. I held mine out as well, wrist pointed upward.
This okay?
Yeah, just hold it like that for a moment. Fast as I could, pulled the luminol from my pocket and sprayed it across all three of our wrists.
Ugh, cold. What the hell, man?
Dio jerked his arm back with a shout. Don't see anything glowing. Fi's bracelet is clean, so is
That
mine, of
leaves all-
course.
Wait, what are you talking about?
I'll explain in a minute. Just show me your bracelet. Something wrong? Just show it to me. Come on, Dio, we don't have
Why do I
time
have
for
to do what
this.
you tell me to?
Because I'm trying to prove your innocence.
Like hell you are. I don't know
Well,
what you're
that's
looking
correct.
for. But you're not gonna find it on me.
Then just show me your
No,
arm.
you don't get to order me around. I have rights.
Not up here, you don't. As he spoke, Dio made a break for the exit. He didn't
I'm
get
afraid I can't let you do that, Dio.
The minor time when Kay actually proves helpful. He spun around toward the other exit. Stop him!
Don't know what you're talking about, but okay.
All three of us leapt at Dio. Okay, they animated this for some reason. Yep. I knew it! His bracelet's glowing. Glowing. Then that means...
Let me go! Get off of me, you
Dio, you killed
No.
the old lady.
You don't understand. This is all some kind of... shit.
What's going on here? I think it's about time you gave us the full story.
As quickly as I could, I explained to Fi what Kay and I had noticed on the old woman's wrist.
So the person with the bloody bracelet would have to be the person who killed her.
Yeah, exactly. Even if they'd wiped it off, I figured the luminol would still react to the blood. Looks like I was right. We've got you, Dio. You might as well confess. Well,
Alright, fine. You caught me. I did it. I killed the old bitch and took her bracelet.
Are you Zero?
yeah, so why?
No, I was under orders. I was sent here to do something.
To do
Who
what?
gave you this order?
I'll die before I tell you.
So your orders were more important than Alice and Luna's
Whoa,
lives.
let's not get ahead of ourselves.
So he's claiming he's
I
not
killed
the
the
one who
old
did
lady, but that's it. I don't know anything about what happened to Alice and Luna.
That
Tread
wasn't you?
carefully, Sigma. This man is not to be trusted. He has already shown he is willing to lie and kill.
Indeed
Mom,
he
I'm
has.
telling the truth. You gotta believe me.
Even if we do believe you,
You're still the killer of the lady.
you just haven't killed as many people.
Exactly. He should be restrained somehow. If we leave him be, he may well kill again.
Yes, but how in the world are we gonna do
Is there a
that?
room we can lock or anything?
Ah, perhaps we could put him in one of the treatment pods. Once we've locked
suppose that's
he
true.
should be unable to escape.
Oh,
Hey,
yeah.
wait. I'll be good. I promise.
Yeah, I think you're onto something, Kate. Let's go with
Please. Hey, listen to me.
that. We'll let you out when the white doors open. Someone's going to need your bracelet to open the secondary door.
Fuck with me, you guys. There's no way in hell I'm going in that thing. Let go.
I do
Let me
wonder
go!
how we're gonna
God
get
damn
him
it!
in there.
Told you assholes to let me go.
Unless Kay's just gonna, like, manhandle him literally the whole
Can't
way
do
over
this.
there.
Stop. Stop. Please
Although it seems
stop,
like maybe
please.
that's what they're
No,
implying
you
here.
Can't. Ah!
So are we just gonna cut to... And then they successfully got him into that, which seems kind of ridiculously impossible. Yep. We're just gonna cut to somehow we actually did manage to get him secured. Which is ridiculous, but sure.
Open this fucking thing! I said open it, goddammit!
I don't think so.
You're gonna pay for this! When I get out of here, I'm gonna fucking end you!
Oh yeah, that's a real reason to open it. So, I guess we figured out who the murderer was, and we found Quark.
Now all that's left to do is find Clover and Tenmyoji.
Clover is not someone you want to have lost track of. Yeah.
Why don't we head back to the warehouse and start from there? They may have
Which
already
one?
returned.
The upper one, or
Let's
oh,
go.
you mean the one on this floor? Yes, that is the most likely place to start. Maybe they finally got here. Oh, for crying out loud! Yes, yes, I know which warehouse it is. And they're not here. Yeah, wow, could have guessed. Just better hope they're not upstairs dead somewhere. Yep, huh. Looks like they still aren't
Perhaps
back yet.
they went to look for us.
Which would be a real problem. Because now we've
How
got
much
to go
time
look for
until
them.
the white doors open?
You can click yours to find out too. Wow, we still have almost an hour.
Then I don't think we really need to hurry yet. Why
Yeah,
don't we wait
you're
a
not
little
wrong.
longer? For all we know, they're on their way back right now.
Yeah, maybe, and certainly we don't want to miss them.
By the way, there was something I wanted to ask you guys about.
Yeah, what?
Yeah. Quark's bracelet.
Yeah, it was missing.
When we found him in the pod,
But as long as it was
he
Dio
wasn't
who
wearing
took it, we're good. But when it comes to these games and someone taking people's bracelets to make a run for it, let's just say Clover doesn't have a good history.
Why?
How should I know?
Presumably, it had been taken off before we found him.
So we have
No
no
kidding.
idea where it is. I
Pretty
see.
much.
That's not good. Without
No,
that
it's not.
bracelet, we won't be able to continue the game.
How do you... Oh, yeah, no, you're not wrong.
We need 3
One group
bracelets
won't be
to
able to
open the
get through.
secondary door. If we lose one,
Oh no, we wouldn't be able to go through the secondary
Yeah.
door. Who would be pairing up with Quark?
Quark's bracelet should be a red solo.
So... Yellow and cyan, I think?
That would mean he'd be with the cyan pair.
Oh no. Right, that would be inner
Clover
side.
and Tenmyoji.
The 2
All
people
right.
who are missing.
Quark's bracelet is gone, and his 2 teammates have disappeared.
What's going on? Does that mean Clover and Tenmyoji took the bracelet?
Well, if they found Quark before you did. Yeah.
But they should
there's a good
already
chance
be
they
out of
did.
here if that was the case, because we took... It had to have taken ages for us to get Dio locked up. Then why aren't they back yet?
Perhaps they've already gone through the white door.
It doesn't open. Yeah, the
Perhaps
primary
someone
doors.
opened one of them. I don't
Well,
know,
that would be
but
ridiculous.
it's happened before. Remember
It
the
did?
3 doors on the other side of the green door? Someone made one
Uh-huh.
of them open. Perhaps this is the same thing.
I guess, but that had a scanner thing. But that's against
Yes,
the rules.
I know. But if the person opening the doors is Zero Senior, do you really think the rules matter? Zero Senior
True.
controls the entire game.
So are you saying Clover or Tenmyoji is Zero's senior?
It
Could
is
be.
a possibility. It would explain why they still haven't shown up.
Although,
Could
Yeah.
they really have taken Quark's bracelet and gone through one of the white doors?
I would argue unlikely. Yeah, and if they did, we won't know where they went until the doors open for the rest of us.
So I would assume.
So, we have no reason not to either finish waiting here however long and then go looking for them. This is still all just speculation, though. Maybe we should go look for them again. One of us can stay behind so we don't miss them if they come back.
Okay, I'll stay.
Sigma and I
Probably
will go see
safest.
if we can...
Make sure you get back 5 minutes before the door opens, all right? Oh,
We'll do what we can.
and don't forget to bring Dio with you.
I guess you will need that. And it's no one but Kay is presumably going to be able to manhandle him over here to behave. Although when she and Dio go through, who's going to keep Dio under control after that? Who knows? We could really use a pair of handcuffs. Alright, this is a new room. Pantry. Hello? This is the pantry.
So it would appear.
Doesn't look like a pantry, but okay. What? I don't like the looks of that puzzle. Well, looks like
When we
they're not
started
here.
looking for Quark, they were sent off to search everything beyond the red door, which would have meant this room.
Sure. What's your point? Not gonna do us any good to hang around here, though.
Very
Let's head
well.
upstairs. Ideally to the room upstairs they were supposed to check. Oh, come on, Clover. Don't have done this. Though again, I mean, yeah, I kind of presume maybe not this time, because surely she would have already been out if it was. At a minimum, something is definitely screwy, because somebody is walking around with the number 9 bracelet and could leave, but hasn't. And pretty much the only person we can rule out there is Kay, because we've now seen, when given the option, he's out. No one here either, huh? Tenmyoji loves scotch so much, I thought we might find him here drinking some. It was around that time I noticed Kay was acting strangely. He was staring at the shelf of alcohol in a way that I would have described as blankly if I could have actually seen his eyes. Hey, what's up? You want a drink?
No. Well, I would enjoy a drink.
Anyway, yeah.
But this mask...
Right. Sorry, that sucks. Honestly, I'd gotten so used to the suit I'd kind of forgotten you were wearing it. Why the heck did they make you wear that thing anyway? You still don't remember anything?
Well, actually, I did remember a little.
Okay.
Yes.
So,
My
what'd you
father.
remember? Okay, that's... When Dad, you remember that? Did it just pop out
Please,
of nowhere?
don't joke. This is serious.
Yeah, please. Now is really not the time. So, you remembered who your father
Yes.
was? What about
I-
your mom?
Don't seem to have one.
Maybe... So, your
Well-
dad raised you? Kay stopped for a moment, then calmly folded his hands in front of him.
I was raised in the facility
In
where
a
my
suit,
father worked.
apparently.
He was the only person who worked there, which meant he was the only person I saw until I was older. That had been the situation for as long as I could remember, though, so I never thought it odd.
He wouldn't allow me to go near him while he was working, but the only... Oh, this is still him talking, I guess. But the only times he wasn't working were the times when he was sleeping. As such, the only communication I'd had with him was the education software he'd given me. I suppose I was a fairly expressionless child then. We developed body language to communicate with others, and with no one else to communicate with, I suppose it makes sense. Once I learned to read and write, I began to realize that my situation was not normal. Many of my books mentioned a mother as part of a family, and in several, the mother, father, and children would eat meals together and talk to one another. Soon I found myself longing for a mother of my own. Someone who would always be with me, who would scold me if I did something wrong. At night, they would read to me before bedtime. If only I had a mother like that, I thought, I would be so happy. And be a real boy. So, for the first time in my life, I asked my father for something. He had finished working and, as usual, was making his way toward his bedroom when I stopped him and asked him for a mother. He looked at me silently for a long moment before finally responding, okay. I remember to this day how happy I was at that moment. A few months later, he called me into his laboratory. It was the first time he'd ever done anything like that. My heart was beating quickly as I stepped inside. Standing next to him was a young woman, and my hopes soared. But when he said her name, or rather her ID number, they were dashed. He had given me a robot to play the part of a mother. I didn't want a mother that was just a machine who did what a human told her to. When I told my father that, he looked surprised for the first time in my life. Then he frowned, coughed, and admonished me for being a whiner. He'd never scolded me for anything before. At first I was surprised, then angry. Hot tears streamed down my face. My father ordered the robot to take care of me and shooed us out of his lab. The robot was very convincing, and she smiled and spoke as if she was a real person, but I refused to answer her and locked myself in my room. You can talk to a robot and it will respond, but in the end you're still talking to a machine, not a person. If that was what I wanted, I still had the education software my father had given me. When I ignored the robot as it tried to take care of me, it looked sad. It couldn't really be sad, of course. It was only programmed to look that way. A robot's facade of sadness didn't mean anything to me. After that, I stopped expecting anything from my father. We'd never really spoken to begin with, so it was easy enough for me to make sure we never saw one another. I lived my life as if he didn't even exist. Perhaps it seems strange to you that I continued to live with him, but I never considered leaving. Perhaps in the hidden depths of my heart, I longed for a relationship with my father. Everything changed when I was 18. I left my room one morning to find a woman standing outside of it. She was the first human I'd ever seen apart from my father, and I was understandably surprised. For a moment I thought my father had created a new robot, but when I told her that, she laughed and explained that she had come to help him. As it turned out, she was a very mysterious person. She was much older than I was, but something about the way she behaved was almost girlish. She would tell me stories about the world outside in such a way that I was never sure if she was telling the truth or making up fantastic lies. Ultimately, though, the truth didn't matter. I loved her stories. She wasn't helping my father directly with his research, so I spent most of my days with her. Before long, I discovered she'd known my father when he was young. She told me stories of how he'd fallen in love as a younger man, and I began to imagine that the person he'd fallen in love with had been her, and that she was, in fact, secretly my mother. After she settled in with us, our long-established routine began to change drastically. First, we started to eat together. Before then, I had never shared a meal with anyone in 18 years. She scolded me for my table manners, or more accurately, the lack thereof. If I was going to eat with others, she said, I would need to be more polite. Having eaten alone for my entire life, manners had never been something I'd even thought about. My father got in trouble too when he made the mistake of reading through research papers during dinner. The look of surprise and embarrassment on his face made me burst into laughter. I couldn't remember the last time I'd shared a laugh with my father. It might have been the first time. The room we'd considered our living room changed too. Before it had just been another room, but she made it comfortable. After we finished our dinner, I would sit on the sofa and relax with her and my father. Those times were the ones I cherished the most. For a little while, every day I got the family I'd longed for ever since I was a child. At her suggestion, I began to help with my father's research. He specialized in genetic engineering, and I discovered I had an interest in it as well. Time faded away as I lost myself in research. Now that we were working and studying together, my father and I had a great deal to talk about. For the first time in my life, we began to speak with one another like a father and son. Whenever I impressed him with something I'd learned, I felt a surge of happiness, and it drove me to study even harder. My days felt full, right, and meaningful, but most importantly, I was happy. 4 years passed in the blink of an eye until one day I happened to overhear my father and the woman speaking in the laboratory. Their tone was serious, so I listened closer, curious to know what they were talking about. That was when I heard her say that she planned to give her life to achieve their goals. It was clear that she wasn't being metaphorical. She would have to die. I was in shock. The research I had thrown myself into would lead to her death? I asked my father to stop his research immediately. He refused to listen. She agreed with him. She told me that she had been prepared for what she had to do since the day she came to our facility. My father had known about it from the beginning as well. Angry and disappointed, I began to investigate what exactly the research I'd been helping with was working toward. Perhaps, I thought, I could figure out a way to keep her alive. I discovered much more than I bargained for. To begin with, I learned that the ultimate success of my father's research would require a good deal of sacrifice. And I also learned that my own existence was just another part of his project. I had been created to function as my father's spare. If he died during his research, I was intended to continue it in his place. I was stunned. I was furious with my father, and with her, and even with the research I'd poured myself into for 4 years. There was only one thing to do: destroy the facility, and end my father's horrible research once and for all. I made plans to destroy the main reactor, and with it the entire facility. But she saw right through me. My father was livid and locked me in my room until his research was complete. All I could think of was how I might stop him. She did her best to convince me that I'd misunderstood, that everything would be fine. As much as I wanted to believe her, I remembered in the back of my mind that she had been the one who had pushed me to become involved in my father's research. Had that been an earnest desire to give me something to do with my life? Or... Still, I couldn't bring myself to hate her. She had given me a reason to live, even if she had conspired with my father to mold me into his replacement. The warmth she'd shown me had been real, She'd made me feel as if I had a real family, and that was something I wouldn't have given up for the world. I pleaded with her to leave, but she quietly shook her head. There was someone very special to her, she told me. He had saved her life once, and she felt her death would help to repay that favor. She would have liked nothing more than to marry him and live a happy, normal life together, but she couldn't. For his sake, she said, and for the sake of the future she wanted, she was determined to see my father's research succeed. I realized then that although she was the most important person in my life, there was someone more important than me in hers. She tried to explain that beyond what we could see was a future where no one would have to die, but I refused to listen. What good was a potential future to me? It was what I had now that I wanted. I couldn't stand to think that she would give her life for a man I'd never even seen. So I shut myself off from the world. Perhaps that is why I lost my memory. Or an overdose of Soparol. Well, heavy stuff. Kay let out a deep, tired sigh.
I'm sorry. I lost track of time. Not
It's
having any
okay.
memories is less than desirable, but it could be argued that regaining them is almost more taxing.
So you remember almost
No,
everything?
The details are still indistinct, especially more recent events.
So you still don't remember how you got captured and brought to this?
Sigma, I'm sorry, but would it be all right if I laid down for a bit?
What's wrong?
I don't feel very well. It must be because I remembered so much so quickly. My head feels like it's going to explode.
Shoot, don't ask my permission,
Yes.
just sit down.
I think I just need to rest.
Okay, take as long as you need. I'll go look for Clover and Tenmyoji
I'm
myself.
sorry.
Well, that's
Thank
still
you.
not a great idea. Kay lowered himself heavily onto the red sofa in the corner of the room. Well, guess I'd better get moving then. This is a bad idea. I stepped out of the room and nearly ran into Phi. Okay, what are you doing up here? You're supposed to be waiting back in the warehouse.
I know. I just decided to go check on you guys. I waited
Alright.
a long time and nobody showed up.
So they
Judging
still
by
haven't
your
shown up
face.
down there.
You damn.
No.
Where's Kay?
He's
You
in the
decided to
lounge.
split up?
Well, not quite. Instead of waiting for my answer, she opened the door to the lounge and walked in. Okay. I don't see why that necessitated this animation, but whatever. Yeah, you could have just cut to being in the lounge.
What's up with him?
I guess he's not feeling too well. He said he wanted to
Is he
rest for a
alright?
bit. I think so. We should leave him alone right now, though. Remember, there's a real person inside that suit. I'm sure he's
Tired,
just tired.
huh? How are you feeling? I feel
What?
tired just looking at you. Your face is like a week-old sock.
Well, excuse you. Well, I guess I'd be lying if I said I wasn't a little exhausted. I mean, all of a sudden I wake up trapped in some weird-ass game and then dead bodies start turning up. Honestly, I'm amazed I've managed to hold on to my sanity for this long. Just about everything here makes absolutely no sense. 0 sense, even. The more I try and figure out any of it, the more I feel like my brain's just going to melt and run out of my ears. You know what I'm talking about, right? We managed to figure out who the killer was, but there's still 100 other questions we have no idea about. Where the hell are we? Why are we even here? What's this whole nonnery game thing for? And what is Zero Senior up to? Hell, how about who Zero Senior is? The rabbit said he was one of us, but... Do you think it's
knows?
Dio? Besides, we still don't know why Dio killed them. He said he was ordered to do it, but... And there's more, too. What about the old lady? Who is she? What's her deal? Hell, what are any of our deals? I don't know jack shit about anybody here. I don't even know anything about you, Phi.
Are you serious? You can't honestly suspect me, can you?
Not my point.
I'm just like you. I was kidnapped on December 25th and brought here too.
She trailed off. Alright. You heard that, right?
It came from the hallway.
Hopefully it's a good thing and not a bad thing. Oh, that's not the right hallway.
There's nobody here.
Maybe they
Let's
got
try
on the
hitting the
elevator?
button. If the door doesn't open immediately, then we'll know the elevator's downstairs.
Yep. I'm... Really? Did Clover and Tenmyoji really just take this
That's,
long to go down? Let's go. Leaving Kay behind, which is frustrating, but we don't know what time we're looking at, so maybe there's still plenty to also then take the elevator all the way back up to get him up, carry him back down, then carry Dio across while Dio is pitching and screaming and throwing a fit. As well, he should, arguably, considering, you know. Why are we looking at them? We have no way of knowing. Yeah,
Let's just
we
head
would
for the
have
green
no way of
door.
knowing. Let's head for the
Because
main
the
area.
treatment center's there. That's
Oh,
where Dio and Quark
That's not a
are.
bad idea.
You aren't worried? I just want to make sure they're safe.
They're fine. Tenmyoji or Clover probably made that noise. Well, both of them, but
Are you
yeah, I don't
sure?
think... I
Dio
still think we
admitted
should
to
go
killing
check.
the old woman, but he still insists that he didn't kill Alice or Luna. What if he's telling the truth?
Are you serious? You're gonna
Doesn't
believe
matter.
him?
I just want to know if they're safe. No harm
Yeah, I
in being
agree.
careful.
Alright, fine. We certainly, last thing we want is someone letting Dio out! And they don't know what we know! This'll be real bad if we get in there. As they've let him out. Doesn't look like it. Also, we shouldn't need to go through the door. Headed to the first pod, yep. His is locked, his is closed. Cracked the top and lifted it back. Alright, so you can't look through there. Quark's still fine. There was Quark, sound asleep. Yep,
Yeah,
check his
I guess
pulse,
I was
though.
probably getting...
Okay, check his pulse, but whatever.
How about Dio?
Let's open his. Let's not! Unless you tied him up first. What the
Check
hell?
his pulse!
It was pointless to check his pulse. He was obviously dead, but I did it anyway. Yeah, he's dead.
Look,
Huh.
the oxygen
I didn't
level
even
for
know
his
this was a
pod
control.
says 0%.
And that means he asphyxiated.
Someone
But
must have
why?
tampered with the pod and lowered the oxygen levels.
Who? Who do you think?
Look, we should go tell Kay about this. Come on.
Without waiting for me to follow, Phi turned and ran off. I took a deep breath and followed and grabbed his bracelet and grabbed his bracelet and grabbed his bracelet. Whatever. Oh, looks like we are at least gonna cut to the lounge. Phi and I burst in the lounge and ran up to Kay. Kay, wake up! Something's happened! When he didn't move, I grabbed him by the shoulders and shook. He twitched and quickly sat up.
What is it?
Deep sleeper. Yeah, this feels like maybe a Clover gone off the deep end ending again. We explained about how we'd found Dio dead and how it looked like he died of asphyxiation. It appeared that someone had reduced the oxygen level of his pod to 0. You just had to put it that way, didn't you?
What? But I thought that Dio was the one who killed the old woman, Alice, and Luna. Then who killed him, if he was the murderer?
Well, clearly none of us, so at least that does clear the 3 of us, and I doubt Clover... Yeah, the only people who could deny are Clover and Tenmyoji, and I doubt it's
There's
Clover
also
because she's the
Quark.
mastermind, but we also... That's not a bad point, but it's not a good point either. What? No, that's impossible. Are you seriously? Quark woke up, opened his pod from the inside, killed Dio, then went back to sleep.
No,
Again,
I'm
actually,
just saying
yes,
that
absolutely, he
strictly
could have
speaking,
done
so
that.
just, you know.
Yeah, sure,
Well,
that's not impossible,
in that case, Phi, I hate to say it, but doesn't that mean that you could have done it?
Me?
but technically,
Yes.
but incredibly unlikely.
You could have done it any time after Sigma and I left the Floor B warehouse.
True, but that still doesn't explain the noise we heard. And why would she lead me directly to it?
Don't give me that.
Hopefully
I was
they're gonna
waiting
bring
for
that up.
Clover and Tenmyoji to show up. They never did, though, so I got impatient. Then I bumped into Sigma.
Yeah, and I can attest to the fact that, yeah, she led
I
me
see.
there to check. And it was her idea to open it up and check on
So
him.
you heard, then perhaps it is likely that Clover and Ted heard you.
Were the two of you together the whole time you were investigating?
Yes,
Yes, and we
were.
didn't
You
see
never
anyone.
split up or anything.
Nope. So, and this is a
In
big
any
enough
event,
facility,
we don't have a great
kind
deal
of
of time
could
for
have been missing them the entire time as we traveled around. Oh, for crying out loud! And now it's 7 minutes. We've only got 7 minutes until the primary door is open.
All right, let's get back
And
to
do
the
we
floor.
even
Maybe
have
Clover
enough
and Tenmyoji
people?
are already...
And if they aren't,
Where is Dio's bracelet?
his
Huh?
what?
You didn't take it? Dio
No,
was a green
because
spy
we're an
and I
idiot,
are the
apparently.
magenta pair.
Shit. Without Dio's bracelet, we won't be able to open the second...
I fear not.
Then we need to hurry. We'll drop by the treatment center on the way
All
back and
three
grab
of
the
us don't need
bracelet.
to go. You two go on ahead. I'll get the bracelet.
I don't trust you, Kay. Well, he can't get through without
All
Phi.
right.
I guess.
One other thing. I need to give you these.
Yes, you do. Were these Alice and
Yes,
Luna's?
without
Yes.
these. So
You would be stuck.
Here you
Yeah.
are. Please, take...
Presumably holding on to them as leverage, in case we
All
try
right,
to
let's
pull
get go-
something. Tenmyoji and Clover kinda on their own. I mean, they really need Quark's bracelet, but it's missing. They're both missing, and Clover's pulled something like this before.
Maybe they did go through the door, like Kay said.
Maybe.
Or-
I mean, really unlikely. What do you mean? Oh, come on, man. You better not give me that maybe they're already dead crap. I get enough of it from Dio. Or God. You gotta be kidding me. This isn't funny, Phi. If you're right, then you, Quark, and I are the only people still
Hey,
alive in
lay
here.
off. I want to believe they're alive too, but
We heard a noise and turned. I mean, it had certainly better be Kay. He'd
I
better be hurrying
apologize for
too.
did you get Dio's...
Well, technically,
What?
best you just see it. This is what I found in Dio's...
What?
Did he break it in order to guarantee that? What the
I
hell?
assume whoever murdered Dio did this.
I guess that's also possible. Yeah, that's possible. But why? There's no
Can't say for
point.
sure, but if I were to guess...
Yeah, it's to keep them from getting through. Well, no! Can't they just go with me? And as long as I've got the 3 correct bracelets, I can open the next one.
5 minutes remain until...
With a bracelet like this, I...
That means Kay and I will...
Oh no.
When the time comes, those 3 doors will
Automatically close.
outside after they close. They'll be penalized.
Okay, so they do have to... Well, so going through doesn't necessarily mean they have to have checked in and gone through, but probably.
I see. That's what
Still,
they wanted.
it's best
Whoever
for-
killed Dio wanted to use the game to kill me and Kay.
But it's still in your best interest to just come with me through one of the white doors. Don't scan yours, and we'll see how it works.
That's why they broke the bracelet.
I think so. It makes the most sense.
Also, try the bracelet just to be sure.
Go on ahead, Sigma. You have those bracelets Kay gave you, right? You should be able to get through the secondary door with those. So just...
Yeah, F that. You know I can't just
But
ditch
if
you guys
stay
like
here,
that.
You'll...
You think I don't know that? What kind of monster am I if I just leave you here to die? Damn it. Yeah, okay, so try one of my proposed situations. You need to calm down. No kidding. Calm down and think. Had to be a way to save them. Had... On a technicality, like I said. Try. Are we seriously... Ooh, okay. What? And again, nothing. Huh, interesting. So, we've hit a dead end. Huh. Alright, well, in that case, I think the next one we'll take, let's see, is this choosing the blue door? Well, I mean, this is where we'll be jumping. So, yeah, I'm not sure which of the other 2 doors, but we'll be jumping right back to the beginning of the game with everybody, except probably still the lady's still dead, but everyone else at least still alive, and choosing to go through another of these paths. So, thanks for watching, we will catch you next time.